What just happened in the crypto market is about to send a financial earthquake through the rest of the financial system, as we see a shift over to a new global reserve currency backed by a basket of commodities and precious metals. The new US dollar is going to be completely reinvented based on the periodic table of elements, and you need to be ready for it. When we look at the global debt for USA, China, Japan, and other countries, China just dropped a $284 billion nuke on the market. And if you pay very close attention to this video, I'm going to explain exactly what that means, how you can position yourself properly to be able to capitalize and make the most amount of money possible in crypto this bull run, what the CEO of Japan's premier bank has been saying about XRP, and Ripple coming together with a consortium of banks to create a new payment system, and what Ripple documentation shows about China and Japan, plus Ripple's partnership with the Digital Euro Association, what's about to happen with the Digital Pound Foundation next month, right next to the Royal Observatory, and we're going to be decoding some hidden riddles about Stellar's XLM, the secret meaning behind their logo, what it has to do with NASA awaiting a rare nova explosion, and what Ice Cube has to say about the music industry, companies like BlackRock, Vanguard, and what these companies have been planning for decades behind the scenes in the dark to bring in a new world currency. So you guys are going to absolutely love this video. Comment 777 if you're feeling blessed, if you're feeling bullish, and if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, confirm it by giving this video a like. Let's run up the likes over 1,000. Subscribe to the channel. As always, let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So as the crypto market continues to do well over the past 24 hours with certain projects up 5, 10, 15, 20%. In yesterday's video, I talked about Sui's breakout taking place. If you guys aren't plugged in with our Telegram group, the link will be below. I posted Sui in there at about $1.17. Also talking about Cetus at about 10 cents the other day. It's at 13 cents right now. So these two projects, as long as Sui continues to do well this bull run, and once Sui breaks the all-time high, it's resembling what Solana did during the last bull run cycle. And Cetus is the #1 DEX on Sui. So just keep your eyes on this project. I'm going to break down the charts in a little bit for you guys and also show you what's about to come next for the total altcoin market. We also talked about Brett, one of the top meme coins on the base chain. Brett is breaking out right now with this massive 3-day candle. If we close above this descending resistance, then the next few months are about to be absolutely insane. So we're going to discuss on the charts what to expect. But before we do, we need to talk about the US debt clock and what's been happening, and then uncover some riddles. That way you guys can do your own research of what's coming next, not only for the whole crypto market, but specifically for XLM, XRP, and a few other key cryptocurrencies. So right now you can see the US national debt, it says $47 trillion. Now, obviously this is not current date, but it says on this day in 2028 at current rates on the path that we're on right now, this is where the US national debt will be. And we can go on the time machine and we can click on where we are right now in 2024, and it says $35.4 trillion. So in 4 years, this is expected to grow by over $10 trillion, and people are bearish on the future of crypto. On top of that, we have the US debt clock just posting this saying the new US dollar will be reinvented based on a basket of these images right here. We have gold, we have silver, we have oil, and a variety of other things like precious metals and commodities. We even see artificial intelligence right here. So imagine a world without the Federal Reserve. The new dollar will be elemental, and it'll be based on the periodic table of elements. So on the left-hand side, we can see O, AI, SI, MG, CU, and AU. Now AU is gold, AG is silver, O is oxygen, SI is silicon, MG magnesium, copper, hydrogen, iron, lithium, nickel, and zinc. And then we have a Q down here in the lower left that represents a quantum financial system. So the term quantum comes from quantum mechanics, quantum physics, dealing with the phenomenon that at the smallest scales, atoms and subatomic particles become linked in such a way that the state of one affects the other even over large distances. So these principles are what give rise to quantum computing, quantum technologies. And if we ask ChatGPT what are going to be the technologies of the future that have the power to revolutionize the financial system, #1 is cryptography and security, specifically quantum safe cryptography, because today financial transactions and data are secured using cryptographic methods like RSA and ECC, which rely on the difficulty of factoring large numbers or solving complex elliptic curve problems. However, quantum computers could potentially solve these problems much faster than classical computers. which threatens the current encryptic systems, which brings an emphasis to quantum safe cryptography that's being developed to counter this. So in the future, banks and financial institutions will need to adopt post-quantum cryptography to safeguard sensitive financial data from quantum-based threats. ChatGPT says right here, blockchain and quantum finance, as there's active research into quantum-resistant blockchain technology to improve the efficiency of decentralized finance systems. And then we have artificial intelligence and machine learning in finance through quantum computing, having the potential to improve AI and machine learning models by speeding up the training of these models. So I'm going to save you guys the details of this because we have a lot to unpackage in this video. And the reason why we've been talking about Ripple and XRP so frequently is because Ripple has been gearing up for this transition in the financial system and making strategic partnerships with central banks to bring this about. For example, XRP was approved by VARA, which is Dubai's financial authority, allowing XRP to be used through Dubai and Abu Dhabi and the United Arab Emirates and that whole region for global money transfers to bridge oil money.
Dubai is actually now at the center of everything that Ripple is doing as well. Whether it is locally, regionally, or even internationally. And Ripple swell being in the UAE is a great testament to that.
Now, as you guys know, the BRICS nations consist of Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and now Saudi Arabia. And so oil has been a massive commodity that's being used since 1971, even before then, obviously, with the Industrial Revolution. But ever since the dollar came off the gold standard in 1971, it was backed by the petrodollar. So petroleum essentially replaced gold for the backing. And that's when we saw the US debt go through the roof since then. Because if we go back on the US debt clock's time machine and we go back to 1980, just 9 years after the dollar was taken off the gold standard, you could see the US national debt was only at $994 billion. It was underneath $1 trillion. Since that has happened, we have 35x that debt and it is not slowing down. And right behind the USA is China at $14.6 trillion. So a lot of people are only focusing on what the Federal Reserve is doing in the United States, what Jerome Powell is doing with interest rates, when they should be focusing on what other countries are doing that contribute to global liquidity. For example, China unleashed a stimulus package to revive their economy. They just revealed multiple rate cuts, and this is going to lead to other countries cutting rates and increasing the money supply substantially. We are in the biggest debt spiral in history. China issued roughly $284 billion of sovereign debt as part of the fresh fiscal stimulus package that they put out there, and some of the fiscal support measures could be unveiled as early as this week, where half of the stimulus package is designed to stimulate consumption, the other half to help local governments tackle debt problems, and also to fund and provide monthly allowance to about 800 won per child to all households with 2 or more children, including first child source. Now, does any of that sound familiar?
The Internal Revenue Service started sending out stimulus payments this week. It estimates 80 million Americans are going to receive money in their accounts by the end of the day.
The third round of stimulus payments, $1,400 to millions of Americans, was passed for recurring payments to Americans as long as the pandemic continues. This isn't the first time the idea of recurring payments has been floated. Following the 2020 CARES Act, there were calls for $2,000 recurring checks by both senators and economists.
Do you guys remember what happened to the crypto market when the CARES Act was signed into law by Donald Trump and those stimulus checks started going out there? Crypto took off in Q4 of 2020, and all through 2021, everything went parabolic. So China just went all in on stimulus, sending Chinese stocks 4% higher, which is not the craziest, but crypto's doing well for the day. And within the China central bank, with them lowering policy interest rates and signaling more cuts coming, they lowered the required reserve ratio for banks, freeing up fresh liquidity. They pledged over $100 billion in equity market support. And this is just the start, guys, considering the fact that China opted to announce them all at once is the biggest sign that China is again unlikely to stay within its budget and their deficit target of 3% of GDP as they unleash a massive slew of liquidity that will be felt globally. And right now it's being felt the heaviest in the crypto market as we see a recovery, especially over the past week, with these projects up 20, 30, 40%. So this is outright bullish for all the risky, liquidity sensitive asset classes like, stocks, gold, Bitcoin, and especially altcoins. But on the contrary, it will also provide upward pressure on inflation that the Fed has been trying to bring down. But more specifically with China's inflation rate saying it's at 0.6%. I don't know how accurate this is because obviously the data that they put up here is the data that they want you to see. So it could be more than this, but regardless, with them putting more stimulus out there, we're going to see inflation spike up. And that's not good for the value of the yen, the won, and even the United States with the Federal Reserve getting ready to issue quantitative easing again, the Fed lowering interest rates. This is the perfect storm of opportunity for the crypto market as we see total 3 breakout, which is the crypto total market cap, excluding actually others. So all of the altcoins, excluding the 10 largest ones. We see a break of this descending resistance right here. We can also see Bitcoin attempting to break the high of the 25th of August. If Bitcoin stays bullish going into October and holds this high as support, and we see a higher high get put in here, the next stop would essentially be this descending resistance for Bitcoin, and then ultimately the high of the 29th of July at roughly $70,000. So if Bitcoin can hover at this zone right here going into October and eventually break $70,000, then going into election time, the next move for Bitcoin is going to happen rapid, and we're going to see, in my opinion, Bitcoin fly past the all-time high. But we do have some time until that takes place. If we don't see Bitcoin turn around and trade back to the downside of this channel that it's been in since the 10th of March. But this breakout is a great sign because we also see an attempt at a bullish cross getting ready to take place on the MACD on the weekly chart for others, which is all altcoins. We also saw the RSI flip the moving average. It's sitting at 51 right now. So it did break this downtrend. And I would expect the altcoin market to hold this zone above this descending resistance before making the next major move up. Now, nobody knows how high that move will be when it takes place because we're looking at the macro here, but this is a good sign that the oscillator has rotated from bearish momentum. You can see right here on this side of the screen in these red bars right here to light pink as it's trending back up to 0. As we see the MACD line curve back around, it's at -10. The signal is at -8. So on the weekly, this is a great reversal signal right here on top of the RSI seeing a break of this moving average in yellow. As you guys know, during a downtrend, the RSI stays usually below the RSI-based moving average. In an uptrend, we want to see it stay above this yellow line right here. As we saw this take place from the 19th of June all the way until roughly the 1st of January when others broke out. And so this is what I would want to see the next breakout and ultimately the next wave in the Elliott wave for ultimate wave number 3, which would be the most impulsive wave at the all-time high or potentially past the all-time high at like $500-ish billion for a lot of the top large cap and mid cap projects in your portfolio. Now, if you guys watched the video that I made a few days ago, I think it was like 3 or 4 days ago, we talked about Bitcoin stock to flow and how we are literally right along schedule. If we zoom into where we are right now and we just compare to the past, we're about to go from red to orange in terms of the days until the next halving. You can see the color code right here. It goes from red to purple. And then usually the top of the bull run takes place around like yellow to light green and before going to light blue. And so when we go from red to orange, well, what happened in the past and where would that put us in terms of price? You know, for Bitcoin, I would assume that would put us anywhere between $90,000 to $120,000, $130,000 for the next leg up before we consolidate. And we do what we did right here for the next consolidation phase where everyone gets bored, they leave the market right before we have the final 5th wave in the Elliott wave. And if we look back here during the last bull run of what took place, look at what happened when we went from red to orange, guys. We moved very, very quick for Bitcoin. We consolidated all the way after Bitcoin's halving from, May until the end of the year. So we have May, June, July, August, September, October. That was 6 months, very similar to what we're going through now. Then once we turned to orange and we broke out, we went from $12,000 upwards of 20, hovered at the all-time high, and then broke on out of there to $40,000 really quick. Look at how fast the breakout took from December 11th of 2020 to double in price to January 8th. So December 11th to January 8th, this was a little bit under a month. That's roughly like 27, 28 days, somewhere around there. So to consolidate for 6 months, you literally have like 30 days when the breakouts start to be ready to be positioned properly. That's why I say in order to position yourself properly, you need to treat every moment, every single day, every single second in the crypto market like it's your last chance. You need to prepare now. That's why I have a sudden, urgent feel in every single video. And it might seem sensational, but it's actually true because when it happens quick. And most of the time you don't have enough time to prepare unless you've been accumulating, you've been filling up your portfolio with the proper positions in the best projects that you believe are going to be around long term. Now look at the cycle before this. When we went from red to orange, we consolidated after Bitcoin's halving for a long period of time. I mean, it was July 9th until we really started breaking out was roughly like November, December of 2016. So we have July, August, September, October, November, December. That's 5 to 6 months again. And then what happened when we went from orange to light green? look at it, guys. We broke out, saw this little consolidation sell-off, broke out, consolidation sell-off, break out. And then we have a parabolic blow off top at the end of the bull run. So we're by no means to the end of the bull run yet, because global liquidity, M2, just started increasing. China is issuing stimulus. The Federal Reserve just literally started cutting rates. Look at what happened when we went from red to orange during the bull run before then. We went parabolic. We went from $12, roughly $13 for Bitcoin, upwards of $230. This was wave 3 in the Elliott wave, and then we saw this consolidation for corrective wave 4, then parabolic blow off top for wave 5, upwards of $1,000. So what we're going through right now is wave 3. And usually wave 3 and Elliott waves are the most impulsive. So you need to be in the water before the biggest wave of liquidity hits the crypto market, because that's where you're going to make the majority of your money. Sure, you can wait to get in on wave 4, but then you're just catching the last little frothiness at the top at the end of the bull run. But true life-changing wealth happens now. So stop with the everyone is bullish, can't be right shtick. Alex Becker posted this, and I couldn't agree more. In the 2019-2021 bull phase, people, celebrities, grandmothers, bull posted 24/7 for a year straight, and the market still went up. Bulls are when even the idiots are right. So you're going to see greed tick up massively. And when we go into extreme greed, it doesn't mean we just come down right away. We can stay in extreme greed for an extended period of time until the market cycle is truly up. Then the people who are so drunk on gains and just making profits every single day because everything that they buy goes up are the people that get wrecked because they think there won't be a bear market this time. Because every single person, virtually every person, obviously not 100%, but the vast majority of people lose in the crypto market because they think this time is different every single time. Just like right now, they think this time's different. The markets are going to crash when it's playing out exactly like it's played out every single bull run cycle in the past. And in my opinion, it won't be different. Now, again, I'm not a financial advisor. These videos are purely for education, informational purposes only. Crypto's risky. You can lose money in these markets. In fact, most people do lose money in crypto just because they don't watch these videos. They don't subscribe to the channel. They don't do their own research. So all I'm here to do is bring you the facts and the information to help you make your own educated, informed decision. Because right here, the CEO of Japan's premier bank has officially declared what they're about to do for the future of banking in their country.
Actually, Japan is a very, very cash-oriented society.
Yeah. Surprisingly,
yeah. People think we are kind of advanced, but by the way, I come from Japan. But the percentage of digital payments of all the transactions is actually only 19%. So it's actually kind of national agenda to increase digital payments. And the government encourage banks to innovate so that they can increase digital payments ratio. So now what we are doing in Japan is we created a consortium of more than 50 banks to come together to develop a completely new payments platform or infrastructure powered by Ripple's distributed ledger technology, which basically replaced the existing domestic payments system called the Zengin system, and also can be applied for cross-border payments as well.
and that contrasts with Zelle, which is a fantastic enterprise.
Exactly.
It's built on the existing rails.
Yeah, that's right.
So not only are they partnering with Ripple, but they're going to be leveraging the XRP ledger, and XRP is going to be used to bridge cross-border liquidity. Now, you guys have been hearing this for years, but the more time that it takes for XRP to explode, the better, because that just gives you more time to accumulate. Look at this. Ripple's documentation shows IDs for dozens of Chinese and Hong Kong-based banks and also in the Philippines. And prior to this update, the IDs were only available in the Philippines. And you go to their official website and you can check this for yourself and confirm. The banks in China are some of the largest banks out there. So not only is Ripple expanding their reach over in the UAE, they're expanding their reach over in China and Japan, but they're partnered with the Digital Euro Association, so over in Europe as well too. Now the DEA is delighted to announce their partnership with Ripple as a supporting partner to jointly work on their CBDC. That was back in 2022. And they just posted this 3 days ago saying a digital euro would be a digital form of cash available to everyone and accepted everywhere in the euro area. It would bring tangible benefits to all stakeholders, consumers, merchants, and banks. Now this brings me to the next video that I'm dropping this weekend for you guys, decoding the secret connection between the Digital Euro, the Digital Pound Foundation, the Meridian event that is taking place next month, that is Stellar Development Foundation's annual conference in London, England between October 15th and the 17th, literally right down the street from the Royal Observatory in London. We're going to dive into Stellar's official website and talk about their new logo serving as the backbone to all kinds of financial products, giving a secret nod to Stellar Stellar's past, and them saying in the future, when Stellar is a global monetary standard, the logo will need to work in line so you can type it in a sentence like you do with the $, the euro, the yen, and other symbols as an emoji on your phone. And also the real reason why they chose a round planetary-like logo that has a hint of Saturn in there, and the real reason why they devised a new color palette for Stellar's branding. When we talk about green, purple, orange, and yellow, that's less predictably financial than the current blue and gray. Well, in my next video, I'm going to uncover the secret ties to Bearable Guy's Christmas posts and what all this has in common with The Economist, the Royal Observatory, NASA awaiting a rare nova explosion, between a red giant star and a white dwarf, hinting at a potential moon date for XLM and XRP, along with Greek mythology of the Corona Borealis, why the opening ceremony of the Olympics was not mocking the Last Supper, and how it was in fact the Feast of the Gods that is connected directly to the Corona Borealis, also known as the Northern Crown, and what the financial elite and the billionaires have been preparing for decades. So if you guys want to see that video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and go to bullrunners.com to subscribe to our video newsletter. You just have to click the button on the page, put in your best email address. It's free to subscribe. You'll get daily videos with valuable content like this. Check it out. I know you guys are going to love it. As always, we're backing up our truck all the way to the bank, grabbing the bags, packing them, stacking them, leaving no bags left behind, because we believe the spending power of the dollar is just going to continue to go down in value. That's a fact. Based on inflation, blockchain tech, distributed ledger technology is going up in value. That's the truth. And together, you know where we're going. We're going camping on the beaches of the moon. I will see you guys on the next video. I will see you on bullrunners.com. As always, you know what to do. Stay bullish.